Hey, Richard here for Elsys. And today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Elsys Amplimax Ultra 5G modem and antenna unit. It's an all-in-one outdoor fixed wireless access modem. It's not a gateway per se. There's no router function that is true routing, but it is a modem and it is a fixed wireless outdoor high-powered directional antenna all-in-one system. Right now, I'm going to show you everything that comes in the box and what they're for. So I've got a completely unopened brand new system here. And I'm just going to carefully open up the box just underneath here and show you exactly what you're going to get inside of your package. Okay. The Amplimax Ultra comes in a pretty big box. It's got a sleeve on it. And that sleeve slides right off. Set that aside. And then the box itself usually has a seal on it. If it does not, it's a different packing, but overall it may have a seal there or it'll be wrapped in plastic. And then it opens up and your Amplimax Ultra is inside. Right away, obviously the first thing you notice is the Elsys Amplimax Ultra 5G directional antenna system with a mount potentially already put on the back. This can be moved up or down if you like. The hardware for it, there's a couple of screws here that can be removed so that you can move it if you like. The same screw size is for here, which is a spot that sets the other side of the mount if you want to do a wall mount. Otherwise, these holes here are used for the mounting equipment, which is essentially a pipe clamp, and we'll show you that in a second. The bottom has a bulkhead connector that is actually a cable gland. This cable gland system is what will wrap around and seal up around an Ethernet cable. This is very easy to put together, but it's kind of weird until you see it for the first time. I'll explain that. Inside, you can see that there is an Ethernet connection, and that is where your PoE power and data will go in or out. The unit itself also has labeling for your unit information, as well as 2 SIM slots and a button they call the Easy Install button. The Easy Install button essentially is just a beep function that is used to help see how strong the signal is to the band on a tower that it is currently connected to. It does not do anything other than tell you what is currently connected, which is going to read on the screen, and it'll beep in accordance to the strength of that signal that it is currently connected to. And again, 2 SIM slots, and then there also is a USB slot for special purposes that most people aren't really going to use. That's more of a troubleshooting thing. On the edge of the box here, this insert here is empty. There's nothing in there, but in the very bottom, there is a box full of parts. So the rest of the box we don't need anymore. In this little box of parts here, there's a false bottom. Pull that out. And there's a whole bunch of little parts in here. I'll bring those out one part at a time. This unit here is a PoE injector. It obviously comes with the unit so that you can power it. This requires 24 volt DC input, which is supplied. There's a power supply that goes from 110 volt AC, which is common in the US, to a 24 volt DC output, center positive, I believe. And that is what powers this PoE injector. The PoE injector is a passive 24 volt PoE. It is not current standard 48 volt PoE, PoE plus, PoE plus plus, or anything like that. It is a passive 24 volt PoE injector for the Amplimax. The Amplimax requires passive 24 volt DC PoE input to power it. This is your power supply and your injector. On the injector, you'll see that there are 2 different sets of words here. If it can focus, maybe. Not on me. One side says LAN. The other side says Amplimax. The Amplimax side goes to your Amplimax. The LAN side goes to your computer. You'll see that there are two, what we call pipe clamps. These are very simple to use. They go around any mast system that you like, pole, J-pole, anything round or even sometimes square that you want to mount them to. And they have a Phillips head connector to tighten it down. It's like a screw, a worm screw, that will pull the pipe clamp through to tighten it up. That is used through these little slots right here on the mount to mount it to a post so that you can rotate with the post. It does not have the ability to tilt up and down. If you need that ability, you'll need to make sure that you modify your mount to do so. To make installation with that mounting system a little easier, it comes with a set of zip ties. And those zip ties are for this top slot. You can zip tie it to your mast to make it easy to set before you set the pipe clamps to permanently install. It also comes with a wall flat mount. This wall flat mount is so that the unit can be bolted to a wall, a flat surface of any kind, or even a 4x4 or some kind of post that has a flat surface. And then this actually drops down into it. When it does, to lock in place, there are two holes, one on each side, and there are screws inside this bag for that purpose. These are actually the same size screws to mount this to the back of the plate here. So you get extras if you need them. Otherwise, they're for this mount. Also included are two Ethernet cables. This is an outdoor rated, roughly 50 feet of Ethernet, just shy. I believe it says that it is 15 meters. Comes out to about 49 feet. Of outdoor rated Ethernet cabling. This goes between the Amplimax port of the PoE injector that you need to put indoors. It is not a piece of outdoor equipment. And I'm talking about this piece here. This goes indoors, not outdoors. On the Amplimax port, focus. On the Amplimax port, you'll plug in this longer cable to your Amplimax. This will provide power to power it up, as well as the data throughput to the LAN port, of which you can use the included short, I believe this is 1.4 meter long Ethernet cable for programming or plugging into your router or whatever it is you needed for your specific installation at your location. Now, these are included, but they do not have to be used. As long as you have a tested, good quality cable that you want to use in your home or office location, wherever you're installing these, you can use on the 24 volts. I don't recommend much over 100 feet of cabling. I believe you could probably go up to 120, 150 feet. But standards PoE at 48 volts should go up to about 300 feet, but that does not apply here. Remember, this is a 24 volt PoE system, so you have less voltage to drop over the cabling. So again, I don't generally recommend going over about 100, 150 feet if you're going to use your own. If you do use your own longer, make sure you test it and look at the status information inside the web UI to see what the voltage is to ensure that under a heavy download, it maintains its voltage, because the unit, as all modems do, utilize more voltage the more download speed and more bands you're using depending on the frequency of the band. For example, here in the US, T-Mobile's band 41 is a high frequency band that uses a lot of power in the modem. The more bands that are aggregated, the more it multiplies the power usage. So you need all the voltage you can get, and if you're using a long Ethernet cable run, that drops some of that power supply voltage, and it's only 24 volt to start with. And you may end up seeing dropouts if your cable's too long and the voltage drop is too high. So again, if you're going to go over the 50-foot piece that it comes with, just ensure that you test the voltage levels under download to ensure that it's getting enough. It doesn't use a lot, but it can drop off to a point where it may reset itself if you go too long on your cabling. Last thing included in the box is this little fold-out information set here. It basically goes over all the installation setups at its most basic level. For more advanced information, look at my other videos here on the site, and I go over in detail the installation of all of these parts, my tips and tricks for installation, as well as setup information for different carriers and tips and tricks for that. And I update those as often as I can based on new software versions that are released or any new information that we find out as we're troubleshooting more and more use cases and installations. This has been Richard for Elsys, checking out everything that comes with your Elsys Amplimax Ultra 5G system. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and ask us anytime via the contact here on the site. Take care.